Okay, so for today, we are going to take a look at something called layer adjustments. They really are an important port of call in Photoshop to go to, especially if you just want to do a little minor adjusting to your photograph. But they are also very fun to do a lot of really cool adjusting to your photograph and wild stuff. So I pulled up a basic color correction image from the internet. So we have something like this. I will tell you over and over and over, just get in the habit of dragging that top layer to the thing that looks like a piece of paper next to the garbage. Two, it's not the garbage though, to duplicate that layer. You might not need it right now, but just get in the habit of doing that. So what we're going to do first, just to try to color correct this image on the left, is I'm just going to use a selection tool, and I'm only going to select the image on the left so that we can see the portion of the image on the left. So what a layer adjustment is going to do. So if you want to do a layer adjustment, a lot of times people will go up. I don't even know where they go up here anymore to do it. People go up somewhere here and start adjusting their images. Don't do that, especially in Photoshop. That directly affects your pixels, and I would like you to stop doing that if you do that. So I want you to use layer adjustments, which are in this little circle. So circle that looks like a yin yang. It's circle with white and black. So when you pick that up, you see layer adjustments. Now I'm looking at these two images, and I know that I need to balance the color somehow. So I'm going to balance the color on the one on the left to try to make it more like the one on the right. And we'll see how good I am today. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm actually going to color balance. So when I look at it, I see that it's very blue compared to this image. So first off, let's look at his face. He's got a lot of highlights in his face. So that's probably where I want to try to go first. So I'm going to go to the highlights. And what I have to do is it's so blue that I want to pull away from the blue. I want to reduce the blue a little bit. I'm going to pull away from the green a little bit. The red, oh, red's kind of okay. Red just looks a little faded. It's almost like they faded it on the one on the right. Pull away from the blue a tiny bit more. All right. Now let's go to the midtones. And I'm going to do the same thing, I think. Pull away from the blue. And this is just like cooking. You're really just testing what do I need to do here. Oh, no, I want to go up in the green. Actually, the one on the right looks kind of yellowy. It looks kind of weird to me, but let's go here and see what looks good to us. What makes him look the most human? So he's not quite as blue as he was before. He just looks sort of human. All right, let's go to the shadows. Why not? You don't have to do this with every photo. It's just if your photo feels really off, you might want to try to do this. All right, you just click back up here. So I actually kind of like my image better than I like the one on the left. But if I wanted to get something like the one on the left, it almost has like a yellowy or a sepia tone to it. So I could go back down here and I could go to photo filter. The photo filter options in Photoshop are way better than this, but like here it gives you this, and I could pick like other color photo filters, but I'm just going to go with this. It's sort of like a sepia or a yellow tone. So I'm going to say I want a photo filter. How much of it do I want? Because I'm just trying to go to get my image to look more like the one on the right, or not. Maybe just make it a little more yellow. So that was a photo filter. Now, let me close this again. Other things you can do here. I always recommend looking at your levels. Your levels show you your darks, your midtones, and your highlights. And this is kind of nicely rounded. Sometimes this will drop off and you know you have to pull the slider. But here it's not so much that way. You could pull your midtones around and you can pull your highlights however you want. All right. Another one that's good is curves. You could go to your curves and you could just try it out a little bit. Ooh, bring it down. A lot of times people do what's called the basic S curve, and I don't know if I'm going to like this, but we'll try it. So you see I'm creating kind of an S. So it does pop it a little bit. All right. Final one that I think is a really good one to go to is brightness contrast. So we'll go back and we'll go to brightness contrast. And maybe we need to make it a little bit brighter, a little bit more contrasty, or a little less contrasty. All right. So let's close this. Let's take these off. So here was the original image on the left. Boom, 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 boom. So really improved the image on the left. I always, though, get people asking the question, how do I take an image and make it all black and white? And maybe even leave a color in it. Well, let's start with all black and white. There are a number of ways you can make an image black and white. You could go to gradient map. And as long as gradient map is selected on the sort of black one, that would work. I'm going to undo that. Another way to make your image black and white would be to go to your adjustment layers and to say hue saturation. And you could pull your saturation of color all the way down and you get something like that. Let's look at that. So there are different types of black and white. So let's undo that. Third way to make it black and white is to simply go to black and white. And then when you go to the black and white there, you can still play around with, okay, what do the cyans look like if I bring them down? What do the reds look like if I bring them down? So forth. Look, I bring it down. All the reds are that dark. Right. So click here. Now, here's where it gets fun. So you have these layer adjustments. I always like to think of this like a contact lens. So this is telling you what it's doing, but this is the lens on top of it. So if you have a black and white contact lens, what we could do is we can scratch out of that contact lens to show the picture underneath. And I'm actually going to trash this or it won't work. So you have to make sure you're not selected on this part, but you're selected on this part. And you could go and you want to make sure your mask is white right now. So you want to make sure that your color is going to be the opposite, which is black. And you can grab a paintbrush of some sort, any kind. It's pretty good. And it's sort of small right now, so I could use my bracket keys, make it bigger, smaller. And what I can do is, as long as I'm on that mask, I can go in here and I can start painting. It's a very loose way. I'm not even showing you how to make a selection yet, but it's just a loose way of painting in or revealing what's underneath. It's kind of weird. But you see what's happening in the layer mask? It looks like it's punching out a hole on that contact lens. If I could go in here, she looks very orangey, but that's okay. I could do a mask that is, or a brush that isn't 100%. So when I get over here, I could do it softer. And let's say I goof up and I go over here. I'm doing the trees and I didn't mean to do the trees. The way to get that back would be to paint back with white. So paintbrush and white. I want a pure white. And I could go back in and I'm going to just put that mask back in, put the black and white mask back in. I think I got most of it. Oh, but I'm at 42% opacity. That's why it's not doing it so clearly. All right, so you have your layers. I created a black and white layer mask. I cut out of it. All right, so final thing we could do, let's find some other sort of image here. Take a lot of pictures of corn for some reason. So just duplicate that layer. So I have an image of corn. Now I could just get crazy with it. I could go in here and I could go, what the heck are any of these things? What could I possibly do? I could do a gradient map, but I could choose a gradient map that is crazy purple. All right. I could choose a gradient map that's something like that. Let's undo that. I could go down here. Whoops, down here. I could do, I don't know what else I want to do. Channel mixer, maybe? Is channel mixer going to work? Yeah. I could do something kind of cool, add different colors. Whatever. It's on channel red right now, channel green, channel blue. So you can just keep playing with it. So let's say do something like that. So now I'm getting this really kind of cool two-tone weird green thing. But I could just have some fun with this too. And like, let's say I want to paint out of that gradient map. I could go here, make it black. And maybe I make a paintbrush that's really big. I could do just dots where I'm painting out of it. You could do something like hold your shift key and let's just go a line across. And again, if I want to paint back into it, I just change the color of it, make it white. And I could just get it back again in the mask. So what I want you to do today is with some of the color photos that you took, you could either simply try improving a image with a gradient layer adjustment layer. I'd like you to take a picture of your layers that you're doing and upload that to Canvas as well as your final image so that I know what you did. So just go ahead. If you do something like this, take a photo of your layers so I can see what you did. Upload it. So let's do I like the corn? Let's keep the corn. I'm going to go file export as JPEG. Oh, but wait, cancel. Let's change the name before we do that so that doesn't override my original file. We're going to call it green corn. So file, export as JPEG, and save, and then you'll have it. And so that is all I want you to do today or for this week. So I want you to really play with layer adjustments and then upload 2 to 3 of your favorites by the end of the week. And that's what we're doing. All right, let me get out of here and end the video.